Welcome to One on One on God 101. Look who's back as our guest.
I'm
It is
back.
season 16 winner, Big Brother legend, Derrick Levasseur.
I'm
Derrick.
glad to be back. Thanks for having me.
Oh, and more recently seen on Traitors.
Yeah.
We have a lot of ground to cover. How and why did you do Traitors?
It was a few things. They had asked me season 2 after Cody played, and I said no. It just didn't work out with my schedule and just things that were going on in my life, personally, professionally. Season 3, I actually said no as well. And then they came back to me late in the game and said, well, we talked about those things that were stopping you from coming. Here's what we're willing to do. What if we flew you in late? Would you be willing to do it? And I said, okay, let's give it a shot. And so I wanted to play. The stars just didn't align. And I was fortunate enough that they did on season 3. And seeing the response from season 3, I'm really happy I made that decision. 2 times now, I've done 2 reality shows, and they both were life-changing opportunities. I'm extremely lucky.
You know, you're walking into Traitors with a target on your back because people know who you are.
Yeah.
Well,
some.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, some. Okay. They know you're smart. They know you won Big Brother.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, did playing Big Brother at all give you a leg up, or did it handicap you because people knew who you were?
Yeah, I mean, there's pros and cons for sure. The fact that people knew who you were, the fact that when I'm in the cage, my girl Danielle says, oh, by the way, he's a cop. Like, literally didn't even let me get out of the cage yet. Shout out Danielle Reyes for that one. And then, but there are a lot of pros to it as well, from a standpoint of understanding these games and the meta of them, knowing that it's based on relationships and how quickly you can develop them. That was something that I took from Big Brother and carried over to Traitors. It is a much different game. There are variables that you can't control like you can in Big Brother. But overall, I would say it was more of a blessing than a curse, although there were some initial hurdles I had to overcome.
Were you looking for a Cody on Traitors, like someone who you could trust?
Yeah, absolutely. Dylan, I thought was that guy, which is why I chose to give him the shield over Danielle and Brittany. I felt like Danielle, Brittany, and I were already good. We were going to need numbers. We were going to need more people. Dylan kind of felt like he was out on an island a little bit, so I thought that was a good opportunity. I won't spoil it for people, but maybe my read was a little off there. He was already aligned with someone else. I just didn't know it.
What did you make of your fellow Big Brother former house guests, their gameplay on Traitors?
Yeah.
Danielle is a traitor.
Yeah.
Brittany didn't start out as a traitor.
That's right. Yeah.
What'd you think of their gameplay? Let's start with Danielle Reyes. I
mean, Danielle's a legend. I knew that coming into the game, and it's unfortunate because we have talked for 10 years about playing on a show together. We always talked about Big Brother. So obviously this was our first opportunity, and unfortunately we were on different sides, and it's just the way it worked out. But I will say this, Danielle's playing her game. Brittany had a strategy going in there as well. They're implementing that. They're both still on the show. And I think what their metric of success was, they're accomplishing that. I obviously had a different agenda. I knew I was going to be a big target. Last time I played kind of slow and under the radar. This time I was much more aggressive and true to who I am as a detective, which, to be honest with you, watching it back, I almost enjoy the Traitors Derrick a little bit more than Big Brother because I want to be fearless. I want to go out there. I want to call out the bad guys. I want to catch the killer. And I was able to kind of embrace that role in Traitors.
Yeah, you could show how your brain works.
Yeah.
You could be yourself.
Exactly. Yeah, it was fun.
Which one was harder for you, Big Brother or Traitors?
It's always easy to say like Traitors was harder because I didn't get to the end. That's like the easy answer, but it's not. Big Brother is harder for a variety of reasons. One being, you got to talk about the logistics of it. You're in Big Brother for a minimum of 90 days at this point. I don't know what the duration is now, but I was in there for 97. That in and of itself is a mental struggle that you can't understand unless you've experienced that role. With Traitors, you get to talk to your family at least every, once a week. Big Brother, as you know, no contact with the outside world. As far as the game itself, I keep giving this analogy with Big Brother. It's a chessboard, right? You're playing against multiple people, but you can move chess pieces. And the hope is by the time they figure out what you're doing, it's too late. It's already checkmate. With Traitors, you're playing against the Traitors and you're making chess moves and you're getting ahead. And then at any point, if they realize what you're doing, what chess moves you're making, they have this red button next to the chessboard and all they have to do is punch it and your game is over. And that's the unfortunate thing about Traitors. I think as the game evolves, that may change, but that was my downfall this year.
Did you know Boston Rob before playing on Traitors with him?
I didn't know him personally. I knew of him, obviously. I knew of him, but I think we maybe met one time at Hearts of Reality in Florida, like maybe 10 years ago. But no, when we came in there, it was like, hey, nice to meet you, you know? And it was a weird situation because the way I came in there with Wes and Rob, it's like, okay, I'm not a traitor, so one of them must be, in my opinion. And you want to work with those two guys, but at the same time, you know it's going to come to a head at some point, which is exactly what happened.
Yeah, Boston Rob came after you big time, and ultimately you were out.
Yeah.
So were you not surprised because that's this game and who he is as a player?
Yeah, that's the way he was playing this season, very aggressively. Anybody who called him out, he murdered them. And I knew that was a possibility. The good news was I actually predicted it where I said, hey, listen, I'm going to get murdered tonight. He's going to come in tomorrow morning and he's going to say that someone framed him. And literally, if you watch the episode, that's exactly what he said to Dylan, the guy I told the story to. So it worked out, but unfortunately it was at my expense. But I don't regret it. I mean, I had to go after him. We're more than halfway through the game. We talk about chess pieces. He's getting rid of all the independent thinkers. The people left behind are people who are just willing to go with the herd. And I needed people who were willing to step out of line and call a traitor out. And I was running out of options. So if anything, I waited too long, but it was a great TV moment to go head to head with him. It was a cool opportunity and people seem to enjoy it. So I guess that's what it's all about, right? The entertainment.
Who's more Boston, you or Boston Rob? And what does that even mean?
I mean, I don't even know. It can mean a variety of things. Well, first and foremost, I'm from Providence, Rhode Island. So
okay, true.
So I am a New Englander. I am still up here. Boston Rob is not. I don't know if he said where he is. I think he has, but he's not in Boston anymore. He hasn't been for a long time. But I think as long as you have Boston in the beginning of your name, essentially that's the only way people know you. I'm going to give him the title. Plus, he still has the accent more than me. So he's
big time. He's never losing that.
You know, I made that mistake. I purposely tried to lose mine as I was doing more true crime shows. I felt like it was better to sound like you. Makes me sound smart, right? And unfortunately, now it's coming back in style. Now it's cool to have the Rhode Island accent. I only have it when I get drunk, and that's not often.
You said on this very show, the last time you were on, that, you know, when you're talking to yourself, you're actually talking to God. Yeah. What were you talking to yourself? What were you talking to God about during Traitors?
You know, it's a few things. You want to play the game. You want to be true to who you are, but you also want to represent your family, your friends, your state, the people that work for you. I have multiple businesses. You're representing a lot more than just yourself. So I wanted to go in there. I wanted to have fun, but I also wanted to play in a way that people would be proud of me. And so you're constantly finding that balance with, you know, where you want to go in the game, what lengths you're willing to go to win, and also having people at home root for you and not be embarrassed by the moves you're making. And for me, there's a level to it, right? In Big Brother, I needed the money a lot more. I was willing to maybe go a little deeper to get there. With this show, I am so blessed to be in a position in my life now where, because of Big Brother, I truly mean that. I'm not just saying it because of you sitting here. The opportunities that I had after Big Brother and I continue to have because of that decision to go on Big Brother has given me a life that allows me to have fun with things and not have to sell my soul to get on another show. And that's what I remembered going in there, talking to myself, staying true to who I am, not losing myself in the game because it's easy to do that. And ultimately remembering that my kids and everyone else would be watching this. And I'm happy to report after seeing the show, I think I accomplished that. So I'm good with it.
What are you talking to God about now?
I think there's always got to be a recalibration, whether it's daily, weekly, or monthly. And I remember me telling you that I talk to myself a lot. And really, I do believe we're talking to someone. And as you're talking it out, you start to figure out what you need to do. And I truly believe that is coming from God, that he's giving you those answers. And a little thing I didn't say, but I'm going to put it out there because we're in the circle of trust here. And maybe I'm weird for doing this, but I talk so much to myself that this is so embarrassing. I'll put AirPods in while I'm walking. So if somebody sees me talking to myself, they don't know that I'm talking to myself. And then I'm actually, maybe I'm on the phone with someone. Does anybody else do that? Weigh in the comments and let us know.
Yeah, there you go. That's a very good tip. All right, you have two daughters.
Yes.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say I'm constantly recalibrating where I am in life, personally, professionally. Number one priority, be a good father. And, if I see that I'm tipping to the scale one way or another too much, you readjust, you recalibrate, you ask those questions aloud, and you take notice of what your mind is telling you, and you make adjustments. There's always time to course correct.
You have two daughters,
yes.
Kate and Henley.
Yes.
If either one ever wanted to play Big Brother, would you support that?
I don't know if she's on. Hey, Tenley, what did you ask me to play the other night? Watch this. T, the other night I'm on an interview. So the other night when we were sitting at dinner, what did you ask me if I would ever let you play?
Oh, Big Brother.
Thank you. Yeah, she asked if she could play Big Brother. And I said, what did I say?
You said yes.
Yeah, I said she could. Absolutely. I think it was a great experience. It changed my life. So she was like, would you ever let me play? And I'm like, absolutely. Especially if you're hosting, Julie. I know you'll take care of her.
Your mouth to God's ears. We're getting to the point where I do think that next generation of Big Brother offspring could be old enough to play.
How cool of a twist would that be? Imagine like all of us having our kids in there playing.
Now that is a twist.
Yeah.
All right. Would you do it again?
Yes. Yes, I would do both. I would do Traitors again. I would do Big Brother again. As we've been talking about this entire time, there's a lot of other variables at play now. I have a very blessed life. And so for me to go back, it has to be under the right circumstances from again, I keep saying it, but personal and professional standpoint. My kids are getting big, basketball games, dance, all these things. I don't want to miss that. But given the right set of circumstances, I would love the opportunity to play Big Brother again, especially now that my competition juices are flowing again. Going to people like Rob and Wes kind of brought it back out of me a little bit. So I would definitely play again, but it's got to check a few boxes, and Big Brother doesn't need me. They don't need me to make the show successful. It's been on a lot longer than I've been playing this game.
Big Brother legend.
Yeah.
Derrick Levasseur. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.